My name's John Muir. I'm one of three owners of Trevassa. My other brothers are Ross and Greg Muir. Our father built Trevassa. She was commenced in 1970. She was launched in 1971. She's a Jock Muir design. She's a later version of Waltzing Matilda, which was a 46-foot yacht that Jock built for the Davenport brothers. She was designed as a cruiser racer. She was built from the keel up in our boatyard at Battery Point, Muir's boatyard, which myself and my wife still have that boatyard, family business. She was originally designed for an American owner that cancelled out the order. So Jock decided to complete the boat for himself. The boat was sold to a Sydney guy, Russell Duffield. We did a cruise around Brewing Island, took her back, fitted her up with the supplies, etc. And then we headed for Sydney. And it was blowing very hard. It was forecast a southwesterly gale. So we stayed up under Eddiston Light. In the morning, I remember we got up at daylight and we headed off across Bass Strait, blowing at that time about 50 knots southwest. So we were rigged with a trysail, small jib, small mainsail, so rough conditions. And we took off across Bass Strait, up outside Flinders Island, heading towards Eden. Maybe 6 p.m. at night, we were 20 kilometres off Green Cape, and the owner was up on deck with a Bass Strait fisherman, Tim Bailey. I was 23. Anyway, we're going across, quite lumpy, and suddenly I looked up, and I saw a big wave breaking on the stern, and that's alarming, most alarming thing I'd ever seen. And I just said a four-letter word, looked at my father, and he said dryly, "Looks like we're going down to Davy Jones' locker." And nobody said anything. Anyway, she went down the front of a 60-foot wave. She capsized, didn't catch pole, but she capsized, came up, shook herself. I was first up on deck, and the mast and rig was still in there, and the owner yelled out, "Jock, come up, take the wheel." And Tim Bailey said, "Jock, I've never been so frightened in my life. Give me a helicopter and take me off, and I'll give you $1,000 and pay for the helicopter." Jock took over the wheel, and Tim's up there quite upset. We headed up towards Eden, and as we got close to Eden, Jock said to Tim, "You want to get off here, Tim?" And Tim said, "No, Jock, I'll stay with it, but I'll be on a plane as soon as I get to Sydney." So we arrived in Sydney. When Mr. Duffel turned 89, he gave us a call and said, "I'd like you boys to come and see me. I want to pass on to you Trevassa." So we went to Sydney, had a discussion, paid for the boat. We put her up on the Slip at Noak Slipyard. My brother Ross and another friend, Peter Crease, they pulled the mast out, re-rigged the boat, provisioned it, and one chap on the crew was Russell Duffield's good friend. He came down on the trip, and Ross and I, Greg couldn't make it at that time, and several other Tasmanians boarded back home.